So, I just watched Angus, Thongs and Perfect Snogging. I am not the target audience for this film. So, our film opens on our main character Georgia walking down the road dressed as a stuffed olive while her dad, who is played by Alan Davies, drives alongside her saying, I promised I'd take you there. And she's going to a fancy dress party and she's dressed as a stuffed olive in like this big round costume, and she arrives there and of course everyone else is not dressed as something so stupid. And she goes over to her friends who are also meant to be dressing as hors d'oeuvres for whatever reason. And none of them are. They're all just kind of dressed in outfits that people would actually wear. And she says, quiet on the set, please. Which says, well, we were meant to be doing this because it was meant to be funny. And then one of her friends says, but boys don't rate girls for funniness. And I'm immediately like, oh, it's going to be that kind of movie, isn't it? So then she's getting ready for school, like, a little while later, and while she's trying to, like, shave off her unsightly eyebrow hairs, but while doing it, her sister comes in and startles her, and she shaves off half of her eyebrow. Because that's the thing people do. Most of what she's upset about in her life is kind of the typical movie whiny teenager stuff, like, oh, boys don't like me, my parents are so gross. Like, get some real problems. You're not going to get me to like understand this girl's problems, like what she's going through, because she's not really going through anything. She's 14, she'll get over it. But yeah, she's at school and she's hanging out with her friends, they're talking about boys, and they see these two new guys that they immediately want to get with. But there's four of them and only two guys, so they decide, well, we saw them first, so you two are out of luck, whatever. Well, actually, one of them already has a boyfriend, so it's just the one little Indian girl who's out of luck. Whatever. They openly call what they're doing next stalking. Like they say, it's stalking time, and they start following the boys around. That's not okay. But I did notice that when she gets back from school that day after stalking those boys, her eyebrow has completely grown back. Funny how quick that happened. So then it's like a slumber party, and there's lots of talking about boys, and they rate each other on appearance, giving them marks out of 10 on every feature. And the only one who gets negative marks on anything is Georgia, the main character, who gets like 4 out of 10 on her nose and 6 1/3 on her mouth. That's kind of harsh. So they try to talk to the boys, and of course everything's a bit awkward, especially when the mum comes in and embarrasses her. But they seem to like them a little bit, and they realise that the boy that Georgia likes loves cats, and she figures that since she has her cat Angus, which is where the Angus from the title comes in, she'll be able to connect with him on that level. Although she does see him with this other girl from school, whose name I have forgotten, so I'm just going to call her Bitch Girl, like in the Duff. So then they're spying on Bitch Girl, and they see that she's wearing a thong, and that she has the kind of fake chicken fillet things in her bra, and I'm like, why is this movie making me look at an underage girl in her bra? That's not okay. So when she realises that this girl doesn't actually have the boobs that everyone thinks she has, which she assumes is the biggest reason why the guy that she likes is with her, she goes to see this one boy who teaches people how to kiss. And, like, upon meeting, oh, you Peter, that's me, the man, the myth, the legend. It's like, this kid is... who? And she goes into his room and he has a big poster of Hugh Grant on his wall. I'm like, this kid has problems. And he gives her a half an hour long instruction session on kissing and says that she's a natural, she's really good at it. He'll be in touch. This kid is, I mean, he's a future stalker right here. You know, you don't want to encourage this kid. He's gonna hurt some women. Georgia wants to arrange a birthday party in a club, but her parents are saying no, and that's, I guess, one of her big issues for the movie. But then a real issue actually comes up because Alan Davies' dad, his job has asked him to go to New Zealand. Like, there's a new position opening up there, and it's going to be a much better money, and like would be a big advancement in his career. And so it's like, if he goes there, then maybe they will eventually have to follow, or maybe the parents will split up. And I was like, that is an actual real life drama and a problem. Why isn't the movie about that? But no, it's about her trying to get a boy. So they decide to fake that the cat Angus has gone missing, so that the boy she likes will have sympathy for her and help her find it, and then, you know, they'll whatever. And it works out alright, actually, because the two of them get on well. Like, they actually like each other and would be good together, almost like they should just not do the things. And of course there's a bit of shenanigans with chasing after the cat. Her friend starts going on a date with the boy she likes, and the guy that the main girl likes is still with bitch girl, but there's starting to be a spark there. Ooh. And again, the parents are arguing over Alan Davies going to New Zealand and whether or not they should come back with them, and it's like, yes, these are actual problems. Focus on the... No, it's gone. It's gone. Alan Davies is gone. And now it looks like the mum fancies the builder that she's got in, for whatever reason. So they end up going to a party, and the boy that she likes hasn't arrived there yet, and she's kind of looking around for him, while at the same time having to try and avoid the boy who was teaching her kissing, because kissing boy is following her around and generally being creepy, and then he makes unwanted advances on her, and they fall over into the bushes, and everyone sees her underwear. And it's like, well, this is the third underage child's underwear that you've shown me, movie. Stop. But yeah, the boy that she likes sees her and obviously assumes that she's with Kissing Boy, and that's awkward. But soon after they go swimming, because Bitch Girl isn't going to be there, and they know that she can have a bit of one-on-one time with the guy she likes. But there's the slight problem that she has used some tanning cream on her legs, and her legs are now bright orange. But the boy finds that funny and charming and kisses her. And then he's like, I have to sort a few things out. I'll call you later. And then he doesn't call. Oh no! Then at one point, Kissing Boy comes to her door with a bunch of flowers. And he's like, I really like you. And I really feel like we should be a thing. And she's like, no, I'm a lesbian. It's not a good way to handle things. And it's not good that Kissing Boy feels that he should be entitled to her unless she's a lesbian. This movie is bad. And then she finds out that Bitch Girl is having a party on the same day that she wants to have her birthday party. And it's like, oh no, what a genuine dilemma. This is... None of these are real problems. You're only 14. Stop. And her mum gives her a copy of Men Are From Mars. And she tries to use that to convince the boy she likes to get with it, basically to try and manipulate him. She goes to a gig of his band, but she goes with his friend, Dave the Laugh, I think he's called. And, of course, Dave the Laugh is really immature and makes jokes about breasts being called nunga nungas. And it's almost as if he's 14. Once Dave the Laugh finds out why she's been using him, he's not okay with that, and then the boy she likes finds out about that, and he's not okay with that. She ends up getting into a fight with her best friend. Typical things of this kind of movie that's boring. And then she goes to her dad's office and speaks to someone, and basically kind of lets loose on how she's feeling about how she doesn't want her parents to split up because of this whole New Zealand thing. She wants her dad home, all of that. And then, because she doesn't think that will actually happen, she says to her mum, we should go to New Zealand. I want to go and be with Dad. And so there's a little bit of thing of her kind of getting ready for that, and she feels she has to go and apologise to the boy. So she goes, she apologises to him, and he's like, oh well, I broke up with bitch girl, and you know, I was maybe hoping that we could hang out for a bit, but if you're going, well, it makes it awkward and weird. But you know, they still get on. It gets to her birthday, and her mum reveals that they're going off for a night out, and so takes her along, and it's a club, and sure enough, she has thrown her the party that she wanted. Hooray! And all her friends are there because then you know they make up, and then of course it turns out that Alan Davies' dad is there, and so he's not staying in New Zealand because his office told him about what she said, and he's like, well, no, I can't drag them out here. I can't stay when they're upset, you know. So he came home. It's like, yeah, again, if that had been the story of the movie, that might have been nice. Yeah, and then the boys' band plays, and it looks like it's the happy ending. But then Bitch Girl gets up on stage. Oh no, what's going to happen? And she's having a go at the main girl. But then the guy says, yeah, but I want to be with her, and gets with the main girl. And that's, you know, everyone has a happy ending. They pair up Kissing Boy with the Indian girl. They pair up Dave the Laugh with the Indian girl. They pair up Kissing Boy with some random extra. And it's just, that's the end of the movie. I don't feel like anyone learned anything. I feel stupider for having watched it. Again, I'm not the target audience for this movie, you know, this is meant for teenage girls, not for a 25-year-old man. But I just don't see the appeal of this one. Like something like The Duff, which I watched the other week, I could at least see who that appeals to. You know, and at least the characters in that learn lessons and have actual emotional arcs. In this, I feel like she's exactly the same at the end as she was at the start, except now she has a boyfriend. And it's just, I mean, where to go in making me compare you as less good than The Duff? And there's just nothing of value here. It's not funny, it's not clever, the emotional scenes it hasn't earned. The whole thing is just a waste of my time, really. I don't know why I watched it, other than I needed something to talk about for this video. So, yeah. My final thoughts on Angus, Thongs and Perfect Snogging are, stop showing so many teenage girls in their underwear. That's just